The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Big Yak Podcast. It is I, Mike Pareto, and alongside me, as always, Nico Benny. How are you today, Nico?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just putting the last little touch on my my special list that we're gonna go into later today.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a treat for you guys. Well, to anybody who knows us, me and Nico, we've always been good fans of Pokemon. It started as a kid, and it's kind of transcended into adulthood. Like 2016, Pokemon Go became a thing. They have recent Pokemon games now coming out for like the Switch. I took I remember I played up until I think Pokemon Platinum.
Yep.
Or Heart Gold, I want to say.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Either
yeah.
one of those two. That was my last one, and then I took a long break. I kind of just fell out of it, and then most recently picked it back up. Pokemon Go, everybody was playing that in 2016. And then the latest game that I bought was the Pokemon Violet game that came out for the Switch.
Yep.
And I got a good plethora of hours of that game. So yeah, we have a good list coming for you guys.
Similar to you, I mean, I grew up on Pokemon cards,
yep.
The books. I have actually the sick blanket.
The
movies.
The
I've watched
TV episodes.
This blanket is a huge comforter blanket, but it has all of the 151 original Pokemon just scattered throughout.
Yeah.
I got the merch and this. I mean, I played the only game that I think I ended up skipping over. There were a series when I was probably in high school. Just starting high school. So it was X and Y I didn't play, and Black 2 and White 2 I didn't play.
I heard Black 2 and White 2 were pretty good.
I've heard that too. And nowadays, I have Scarlet. I don't really play it as much, but I've been playing a ton of emulators. I actually am currently mid playthrough of Heart Gold, Soul Silver on an emulator.
There you go.
So yeah, it's a big part of my life even to this day.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish I would have went back and played Pokemon Black and White, but I didn't. But I mean, maybe if
get an emulator,
yeah. I'll probably go back and play it. Could never get too old for Pokemon.
That's true.
I've came to realize that it's just the fan base is just it ranges from little kids to elderly people.
A great game knows no age barrier.
Right.
It's just one of those games that anyone could pick up and have a good time playing with.
Yeah, and I'd say that right now, if anybody's playing this game, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, that's what I'm playing right now.
What are those little guys called?
Oh, the Koroks?
Yeah.
Koroks?
All I see is
people
these Koroks getting obliterated.
What happened is I don't know if you played Breath of the Wild, any other game.
I haven't. I'm not as big into Zelda as I was Pokemon. So
yeah, I've always been a big Zelda fan, and in the Breath of the Wild they introduced these little Koroks, and they're these little grass tree.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And so in Breath of the Wild they were annoying, but they were not like how they are this year. This year, they're more annoying. You have to pick them up and bring them across the map and put them in a certain place for a quest. And what people are doing is they're tying them to they're crucifying them. I don't know. The first day it came out, there was so many TikToks, and there's they made a cross, a cross, and they're burning the Korok, just burning this thing alive. And
I don't even know how you could. So what's the building mechanic like? Because I've seen someone take a legitimate B-52 bomber and how does that end up in a Zelda game?
So what they did is this year they always have special abilities. You have special equipment, or you have a power. So this year they basically, the main character Link gets his arm basically it's burned off.
Jeez.
He basically his hand isn't used, his whole forearm isn't usable down here. So he gets a new hand that has special powers. So what you see is on TikTok all these different creations and stuff like that. It's called Ultra Hand. It's basically like there's anything in the real world that is like you could pick up and you could make anything. So you could literally, people are making like helicopters, stealth bombers. They're making like
crosses,
cars. They're making like submarines, airplanes. Like they're just like making like all these different things. And it's like, and it's the same like map and like characters. It's basically the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and it's such an amazing game. And so I'm sorry, this is gonna be to people who don't.
I was gonna say, I thought we turned in the next of kin here for a little bit. Welcome to the Next of Kin podcast. I'm your host, Rich, joined by my son, Christian. That's my tagline. Well, it's funny. Back to Pokemon for a second. You said it, but it's what's interesting for me is that you think of like all the stuff that came and then has come and gone. Maybe they're popular here and there, like whether it's Ninja Turtles or, and obviously there were games with that. But then there was also all the other things like Beyblazes and the little magnetic ones.
Don't even get me started on Beyblade.
Those things have all come and gone, but Pokemon seems to keep regenerating and finding new versions of it. So it's kind of like Power Rangers. It seems like there's always a new generation of. But with Pokemon, there were so many different ways you can do it. Mm-hmm. And then I even heard next to Kenny sound a thing like that. They're actually trying to figure out if they can do a live action Pokemon show. Like that.
They've tried, and Detective Pikachu has been the closest thing to it, and people have their.
I think they're actually trying to now actually develop it, so we'll actually get Brock and
CGI is advanced enough now to where it doesn't look like
blasting off again.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I remember watching the shows with my sons and. And even I think a couple of the movies and the
not
games
too long ago,
and
I was
stuff.
just rewatching the series just because it was just
the series ended.
Yeah,
like the main series with the main character.
The 20-year-long series that got regenerated, like you said, years and years and years of just different seasons and different characters finally ended. I saw that, but I was rewatching like season 1.
Season 1.
Like Kanto.
Season 1.
Ash is getting his 8 Pokemon badges. That's where we're.
Ash finally won, I think. I think they finally had him win.
Spoiler alert.
I don't think that was new. I think that was a while back that he finally kind of.
It's a good lesson for kids. Wait 20 years and maybe you'll start succeeding.
Yeah. So we got a fun show on our hands. We're gonna give you guys a NFL offense and what Pokemon would play an NFL offense. And so it's gonna get real wacky.
We're clearly in the moments of the summer here when there's not much to talk about.
We're in peak off season.
Yeah,
peak off season right now.
I'm excited for this though. I mean, I won't be able to pick this, but I think I'm going to remember hearing a lot of these Pokemon by name.
So if you guys are Pokemon
this
fans,
isn't a draft. You've already developed your squad.
Oh yeah, this is honestly, we'll probably take our teams and then go head to head and see.
Yeah, it's like a depth chart.
That'd be a pretty good draft though, just Pokemon draft.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So yeah,
that you might see that again later this offseason.
151
First draft,
original ones.
Pick number 150.
None of those. Just I want to get a clarification on the rules. We do this on Zach Squared podcast. I like to just make sure I get the clarification of the rules here. Are these evolved types or are these just regular?
It's any Pokemon.
So you can. Well, wouldn't you just pick all evolved types then?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You don't some of them have different stats.
When you're talking about,
there's a lot of people my age that just clicked off and said, "I'm going to wait for next week" because they won't know anything. But, but I mean. But I just figured I want to get clarification,
Yeah, it's any Pokemon. You can't duplicate a Pokemon. So you can't have two.
You can't have a whole team of
Pikachu.
Pikachus.
You can't have a whole team of Pikachus. No, so
it should be a bad idea.
It's all different.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's gonna be a different list of different Pokemon. But
can they use their Pokemon powers in the middle of the game, or is that kind of like okay?
Yeah, it's part of the game.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah. To whatever advantage they can use. So yeah, if you guys like Pokemon, this is the episode for you. If not,
okay,
please try to
just skip over this part because we're in the future and you can just skip through the podcast.
Please stick with us. So here we go.
Yeah, if you have to go do a load of laundry, they'll come back in 10 minutes. So.
All right, you lead us off.
So here we go.
I'm typing out my guards.
So before I start, I just want to mention
You're taking this too seriously.
I don't have my laptop. I came right from I had my girlfriend's we had our first dinner with her family.
Yeah, talk about that. How was
that? Just real quick. I mean, I'm not gonna go harp on it.
You don't have to go into detail.
Yeah, but basically, me and her have been together for 8 months, and so I haven't had just dinner with them before. Just like me, her parents, and she has 2 little sisters. So That's the first time we did that, and I don't know if I talked about this on before now about like girlfriend's parents and like stuff like that, meeting them for the first time. But yeah, it was interesting. Little awkward,
Naturally,
to be honest.
Naturally.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, my girlfriend does a good job of making me comfortable, but she does like, I'll say something like, I had to eat before everybody else did because I had to make it in time for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, I ate before everybody, and like, her mom's like feeding me stuff like that, and I'm like, she like gave me a plate of food. I'm like, oh, thank you. She was like, oh, do you want like salt, like stuff like that? I'm like, yeah. And my girlfriend like nudges me and she goes, say please, Mike. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, please, yes, please, thank you. Like, so I mean, it's just I do have manners. I don't want to make it seem like I don't have manners. I do. It's just sometimes like my brain kind of like
you're like, oh yeah, sure, right.
Yeah, my brain isn't there, and yeah. So I am a respectable, polite boy. I'm a nice young man.
He's a nice young lad.
I'm a nice young lad. So yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. It was they made steak kebabs.
Oh, that's nice.
And had some shrimp on it. Had some potatoes. A little bit of rice on the side. There was like they had veggie kebabs too, so it was nice. Nice. So yeah, I did. So I running late. I don't have my laptop, so I'm professional. I just have my phone on me. So do you want me to go first? Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't you go first?
So quarterback might be a little bit of surprise. It's not really like a household name to anybody who knows Pokemon. I mean, if you like watch like the first 2-3 seasons, you won't know him, but he is technically a Gen 4 Pokemon. Home of the Sinnoh region.
Who's your QB? Who's your QB?
Come on. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, like that series. My quarterback is Magmortar.
Magmortar.
I
mean, he's got a cannon.
That's what I'm saying.
He has a literal
his
cannon.
arms are cannons. His arms are cannons. So he's a fire type. Fire types are really good for offense. He is a pretty balanced Pokemon. He's a little bit hefty too.
Yeah, he's got some beat. And for your starting QB, he needs to be rugged. He needs to be versatile. So, take a big guy with a cannon. Come on, that's old school, good old fashioned gridiron, right?
Right. So quarterbacks would be Magmortar, as he's cannons for hands or arms, whatever you want to describe it as. He's shooting rockets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Magmortar's quarterback. So we're gonna do 2 running backs. Running back number 1. I have the legendary Pokemon Deoxys. And so Deoxys can shapeshift into different forms. So he has like attack, defense, speed. And
yeah, you want your running back to be versatile. In passing pro situations, you might need your guy in defensive mode. You might need Deoxys in defense.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need someone who has that home run threat, hand the ball off to Deoxys and put him in speed form. Come on now.
Right. So like speed form, he could be in running, like running the ball. Attack form, catching the ball, something like that. So that's running back number 1. Running back number 2, I have Jolteon. Jolteon is one of the evolutions.
Straight speed threat.
Straight speed. He's electric. I just remember like in the games in the anime, quick attack. I'm trying to think of other moves like wild charge. Volt tackle, fast Pokemon. I could have probably put Pikachu right there.
He's absolutely electric on the field.
Right.
Every time he has the ball in his hands, he's electric.
Right. So running back, I could have picked Pikachu, but the thing is, Pikachu is a little small thing. Mm-hmm. Pikachu is not on my list, by the way.
His size, neither is mine. He's too small. He's undersized.
Small. He's the mascot. He's the team mascot. So those are my 2 running backs, Deoxys and Jolteon. So here I'm going to go to the receivers. So 2 outside receivers in a slot, or just 3 receivers in general. Number 1 wide receiver, I'm going to go Charizard, one of the GOATs. He's a flying fire type. A lot of people mistake him for a dragon type. He's also a little bit of dragon too, yeah. I think technically
he's got that dragon in him.
He's got that dragon in him. He's fire flying. So, we need a guy who could fly.
That's right.
A big body target. Charizard's massive. It sounds kind of weird. But
let's get the measurements on Charizard real quick.
Charizard, he's a massive Pokemon, and he can fly. So, there you go.
Charizard's 5'7", so 5'7", 200 pounds. He's
Fat.
smaller but thicker.
He's thick. Yeah, that's a thick A boy.
He plays much bigger than 5'7".
Shouldn't you put him on the line then? Like, shouldn't he be like
Nah, he's
blocking?
too small for the line.
Oh.
He's too small for the line.
I
He's
like-
too athletic.
Again, I don't know at 5'7", because most of them are this big, right? None of them.
Oh
are,
no, they're
yeah.
massive. They get big. Have you ever seen a whale lord?
Well, those guys, they only need one on the line then. You know, it's the whole line. It's off. It's going to always be off. It's going to take off 20 yards of the pitch.
My line's crazy. I just want to say.
Lord.
Yeah, my I didn't really take like height into.
Oh, see, your team didn't do your homework in your scouting.
See, I did positions. What positions would fit best, but like height. I mean.
Oh man, I got the scouting report.
Oh, you got
ready.
the scouter report. Oh, okay, all right. Wide receiver number 2, I got Aerodactyl, another classic. He's a rock flying type.
Yep.
You know, he's a rock Pokemon. He needs the rock.
He rocks.
He needs
Give
the
him
rock.
the rock.
Give him the rock. Come on.
The amount of puns that we've thrown in the first 10 minutes of this show is enough to last us a year.
Yeah. And then my slot receiver.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
We're gonna get. People are probably like looking at the TV or whatever they're watching, and just going.
Next.
All right. We're having fun though. We're having fun. My wide receiver number 3. He's a newer Pokemon.
Okay.
Gen. I don't even know what gen we're on. 8,
9, 8 or
Nine?
9.
I think he's a Gen 7. I think he's Sword
Okay.
and Shield.
Some of these, yes. Hey, he might put someone onto a brand new Pokemon.
Yeah, Dragapult.
Dragapult.
You know
yeah,
Dragapult?
yeah.
Dragapult is Ghost Dragon. We need a guy who can get behind defenses. And what better can you name by a guy who is a ghost type? And he's also fast.
Mm-hmm.
He is known for his speed in the games and the anime. So give me Dragapult as a slot receiver. Tight end. I have the GOAT, Mewtwo.
You have Mewtwo at tight
I
end.
have Mewtwo at tight end because you want. I'm thinking like a Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking like Mewtwo has some big hips. He's
wide.
He is a thick boy. You know, he has some big legs. He is strong. He's a psychic type. So he's probably he probably has the ability to bring in footballs. With like his mind, like telekinesis type. So give me Mewtwo at tight end. He's a powerful Pokemon. He's not slow either. So I'm thinking Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is strong, powerful tight end. Just catches almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
So give me Mewtwo at tight end. That's a little bit of a shocker.
Got some really big thighs.
Yeah, really big thighs.
You're
Look it
looking him up as you
Yeah,
go.
I'm like
His thighs are big.
the guys. That's a lot of those. What's the one where you push the stack
Yeah,
at the gym?
he's
Whatever
doing the
know.
doing the sled.
He's doing the sled.
He's
yeah.
sled. He's like he's all leg. It's just leg day.
It's just legs.
7 days a week. Because his arms are okay. His hands are big though. He's got big hands,
Yeah,
so he can
mhm.
catch
Catching
the
the
Big
ball.
catch radius.
But
right.
you can't teach big. You can't coach big hands.
No.
That's
Right.
just you just got them.
Just ask Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, you just gotta catch. But the thighs, you can definitely work that out, and leg day 7 days a week.
You can build some thighs.
Build some thighs. All right, so now we go to our linemen. So 5 offensive linemen. I'm gonna start with my tackles.
All right.
So offensive tackle Tyranitar, one of the early goats.
Took my guy. Yeah. Keep
Took your
going.
guy.
Mhm.
Big ground type. You need a Pokemon that can stick his feet in the ground and push.
He's your anchor.
Powerful. He is an anchor. He is, he's explosive, but he's not gonna allow a defender past him. He's gonna get killed.
Yeah.
So Tyranitar, offensive tackle number 1. Offensive tackle number 2, I got Hariyama.
All right.
Hariyama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is Gen 3. He has massive hands. Like I'm literally talking like boom. Like it's like double this hand.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Plus, you want that experience in the locker room. You want a Gen 3. You don't want all these new guys on the team. You need some guys that are, know the way around the system.
Right.
Mind you, he's 7'7" and 559 pounds.
Yeah. See, so that one is ideal.
That's just stupid. That's just stupid.
That's what I was saying.
How does he get the little ball? I don't understand how he goes. He goes with the little ball.
That's what I was saying.
The physics on Pokemon is not earthly physics. You have to kind of like suspend your disbelief there.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't take the height into consideration that much. I'm taking more of like skill.
Well, height doesn't help because you got all these guys that can fly anyways. So the height doesn't do any good. And I going back to the rock that can fly, I have some real issues with the physics of that.
Oh, yeah, Aerodactyl.
You got to be lighter than air. I don't know. How's a rock?
He's got wings, man. He's got wings.
I can see him doing well in college, but not at the pro level. I just don't think that's going to move. It's not going to It's not going to make that transition like he played when he was in college.
Right. Hariyama is also a fighting type too, so he's going to be hand fighting.
He knows how to be in the trenches.
He knows how to be in the trenches, so he's a tough guy. Give me Hariyama.
Push in the pile. Push that pile, man.
Yeah. So here comes my guards. Guard number 1, I have Regirock.
Okay.
Regirock is another. He's a steel type.
No, he's a rock type.
He's a rock type.
There's Registeel.
Oh, Okay. Yeah. Regirock. Okay, yeah. I lied. Regirock is going to be guard. So Regirock, another guy who is he's stiff.
Yeah.
He's an immovable
You could
object.
honestly put every single Reggie on the O-line.
You could.
Yeah, Regigigas is your center, and then you got Ice, Steel, Draco, and Rock all along the sides.
Yeah. Regirock, though, give me him. I think either him or Registeel have the best defense. Probably Registeel. But that's for defense. Offense, I still think Regirock would be, he's not too big, but he's, as I said, he's an immovable object.
Mm-hmm.
And then center, give me Chansey.
Okay.
Chansey.
Yeah. Not Blissey?
Or Blissey, I'm sorry.
You'd
Blissey.
rather have, okay.
Yeah. I forgot the evolution. So Blissey, the better version, just a big body. She's already carrying an egg in her pouch already.
Knows how to throw the rock, right?
Knows how to throw the rock.
Knows how to snap the rock, I guess.
Knows how to snap the rock, She's already there's already an egg.
Yeah.
So probably,
Like,
I don't know.
It's you gotta suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, so Blissey at center, I think, is, trying to explain these.
You have to pretend like everyone knows what you're talking about. Like
people are probably looking at this like,
well, the people that know
the people that know are probably like, dude, you're such an idiot. Why would you use Blissey as your center? This is a very specific audience.
There's people, that are getting very upset about this, and
There's
they're calling
a very specific audience right now.
They're calling
we're
into
to.
other podcasts to talk about Pokemon as pro players. Did you listen to that jerk?
Speaking of, flash up the Emerge title, the hotline.
Oh, okay.
Graphic.
Yeah, hold on.
If you disagree with me or Mike on our list, give us a call and tell us what you think.
Yeah, if you have any Pokemon opinions, let me know. I mean, I'm trying over here, trying my best.
Man, you got to get a better scouting team, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
my team's gonna smoke yours.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear your team.
Did you finish up?
I'm done. Yeah, that center was the last one.
All right, starting quarterback. You already mentioned him, but I don't think you're utilizing him correctly in your offense.
Okay.
So give me Mewtwo as the starting quarterback for the Pokemon team Nico. I mean, this dude is standing at 6'7" and 269 pounds, the ideal size for a dual threat quarterback. He's got the speed, he's got the power, he's got the strength to put the ball anywhere on the field he wants to, and with that psychic type, he's got that precision, and the touch that you need to really, to take the win home.
Right.
So, give me Mewtwo as my starting quarterback.
Okay.
Running back 1A, give me Miltank. Miltank, a straight bell cow back. Bell cow back, bro. Bell cow back.
I see what you did there.
Good speed, and listen, I was just playing Soul Silver, like I said. Deceptive speed. She's a lot faster than she. No.
Oh, she?
Miltank is 100% female.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Tauros is 100% male. Fun fact.
Oh.
But that being said, deceptive speed and deceptive power carried me all the way through the first 8 badges.
You ever play the Gen 2 games and you face Whitney's Miltank?
Mm-hmm.
And she just
think about
rolling you over.
Roll out, exactly.
Okay, I see what you. Okay.
And you know what? Has that endurance too with Milk Drink too. Come on, during a halftime
Just
up
chugging
pop
milks.
up a milk drink and
Just
and she's
squirting them
back
out the
at it.
others.
All right. But my second running back, give me Primeape.
Primeape, all right.
So he is angry 24/7.
Okay. Angry
Today's
Run.
game, you need a shout out
Kyle Brandt.
Kyle Brandt. Today's game, you need a back that can plow clean through you and still have the speed to hit that home run. Primeape's pretty fast. There are size concerns. He's only standing at 3'3" and 70 pounds, but he's got the power to run through a brick wall. Don't let that size deceive you.
Okay, he's a fighting type.
So my wide receiver trio, my boundary wide receivers, give me Blaziken and Grovile.
Blaziken, Grove. Okay, 2 Gen 3 starters.
Mm-hmm. So exactly, that kind of hits my point too. So with Blaziken, true alpha on the field, 6'3". He's got
Blazing
that size that you
speed.
want. Exactly, blazing speed. He has the measurements that you'd want in a boundary receiver. And you know what? His strength makes up for that 110-pound frame.
Yeah.
That's a lanky boy, 6'3", 110 pounds.
110
Picturing
pounds.
That's his size.
Oh
yeah.
my,
It's all on the shins down.
he's a
If
skinny
you ever look
boy.
at a picture of Blaziken, it's
Yeah.
all on the shins down.
Yeah.
And on the other side of him, give me Grovile, not Sceptile. Sceptile's too slow.
Okay.
Grovile, we're keeping it in Hoenn. Good chemistry with being both Hoenn starters. You know, they were grinding out in New Barktown for a while.
In
and
the
they come
lab,
from the same
professor's
neighborhood,
lab.
so went to school together and all that.
Oh,
It's
God.
giving me like a
Pokemon
kid,
U.
It's giving me vibes like similar to like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase back when they were
Oh.
at LSU. Like that true 1-2 punch.
The Hoenn U.
Hoenn U. And instead of Joe Burrow throwing the ball, it's freaking Mewtwo.
Just Mewtwo.
So Grovile's got great speed, great hands. Come on, Leaf Blade can cut through defenses.
Okay.
In the slot, give me Ambipom.
Ambipom.
I thought about Apom, but you know what? Ambipom does everything better. 2 tails. That catch radius is
I got bad news.
unbelievable.
I just saw on Twitter that he got suspended for gambling.
Oh no.
You're gonna have to play somebody else because
Damn.
he's got to sit out the 2023-24 season.
Yeah, yeah.
shoot. Okay.
He was
I
in
need
the
to-
Pokemon Battle Arena and he's betting on himself. So they
So
George Pokemon
one of-
Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium. He's just betting on himself.
One of
What
the-
else are you gonna do when you're sitting around in the stupid ball?
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to get into that because there's something like they're just stuck in a ball the rest of the time.
Oh,
Like,
they got games. They're
I
doing
don't
whatever.
know.
So
It seems like there's something.
so this
Have
just
some
in.
ladies over. A couple
Just
brewskis. It's a bachelor pad.
I'm just
It's like
imagining
it's like
Ambipom
Webkins
sitting
online.
back
It's
with
like Webkins online. They got like a house. You can buy them a couch and stuff.
So okay, with the news of that, I have to go to the next best free agent that's on the market right now. Give me Dodrio for my slot receiver.
Dodrio.
So Dodrio has 3 heads, and you can catch him with all 3. So again, wide catch radius, and he's shifty, he's quick, a guy that can get down the middle too. So give me Dodrio or Ambipom in my slot. Tight end, my favorite Pokemon, Dragonite.
Dragonite.
Yeah, he's got that elite combination of size, strength, hands too, reliability. I mean, let me pull up his measurements real quick. This dude is 7'3", 463 pounds, and he is that fast and athletic. Come on.
463 pounds is crazy. Oh my god.
But he plays much smaller than 463. He's playing at like a 250 size. So
Cow, it's like a 280 difference.
I don't know. I didn't make the physics here. So for my tackles,
Really need the measurements of their hand size because if they're going to catch the ball, you want them to have larger hands. Then
he's got okay hands. You know what? Coming out of college, that was a knock on him. His arms aren't the biggest, but he has a great catch radius and
Canto
reliable hands. That's coming out of it was
Canto
actually Palette Community College
Palette
first,
Community.
and then he
Oh,
went
okay.
to then he went to Indigo University afterwards. He trained under Coach Lance, so shout out
we
to
didn't
him.
even
He
get
learned
into who
everything
the
he
trainers
learned
are
there.
coaching these teams. Yeah, we didn't even get to that. yet.
The Pokemon needs to hire us and have us like do this as a show.
So
This is well done.
here's my O line's my O line's insane. By the way, I just want to let you know.
Okay.
You're not. This is the new Iron Curtain.
All right.
Give me on the outside. Give me my tackles as Tyranitar and Aggron.
Okay.
Big, strong, athletic. Like if you have Aggron on your right tackle and then Tyranitar on your blind side, nothing is getting by them.
I was
Nothing
thinking
is getting by
Aggron.
them.
I was thinking Aggron.
My guards give me Snorlax and Hariyama. You already used Hariyama. Snorlax is just big. I mean, come on. Let's pull up his combine measurements here.
600 pounds.
6'11", 1,014 pounds.
Oh my God.
You're not moving him. I don't care what you say. You're not moving him.
But here's the thing: can he move?
No.
No.
He's the least athletic
So he's just
player. He's you sub
snap
him
the
out,
ball. He just stands up.
you sub him out in race car packages. Is all I'm gonna say. But Hariyama, like you said, huge hands, big, strong, athletic, fighting type. He is the true definition of a coach's player. Wins in the trenches right there.
Okay.
At center, so I originally had Metagross, but there was we just traded for Blastoise.
Traded for Blastoise.
We traded for Blastoise. We felt we needed an upgrade there, and
Blastoise, that's a good one.
Blastoise is.
How did he go so late in the draft?
That's it. So he was already in the league. We just traded for him.
Oh, okay.
So Blastoise coming out of college was the number one prospect. His combination of size, speed, and athleticism is something that teams only admire and wish they had. He's kind of small for a center at 5'3", but that athleticism down the middle of the line is what really kind of sells him. So nothing is stopping this line, I've decided. You have that line with a 1-2 punch in Miltank and Primeape with Mewtwo throwing the ball to Blaziken, Grovyle, Ambipom, and Dragonite. Come on. Unstoppable.
So what would you give your team? What would you say their record is?
Their defense kind of gets them into some unwanted situations. Every game turns out to be a shootout. So
we gotta do a defense one of these, upcoming.
Down
the road.
When we
Down Victory Road.
When we really get nothing else to
We
talk
really got
about.
nothing to talk about.
We can do the defense because that's 10 times tougher here.
Yeah.
I'd say they'd go 13-3. Well,
13-3.
13-4, I should say, because of the 17 games.
All right. I'm gonna go 9-8. Mine's 9-8.
Yeah, there were some holes on your offense.
There were some
I
holes.
felt.
I probably should have, as you said, probably should have went to the scouting report, a little bit better. But there are some good spots.
Coming up next week, we'll have to do the draft.
The draft.
All the new Pokemon coming out. Draft them to the team.
Good Lord. But
all I'm going to say is Squirtle's the Baker Mayfield of Pokemon.
why
Like
is that?
Squirtle with the glasses on? Like
he's just useless.
The little badass kid
Yeah,
Squirtle.
higher expectations, and
Leader
they just
of the
never
Squirrel Squad?
he never lived up to the expectations. Why they even bother?
Bust.
So, he's a
Certified bust.
bust.
I'm gonna go 9-8. I think we're a wild card team.
Okay.
With a chance of maybe making it. Given some mismatches. But
I mean, take this offense and then try to put it mine or yours. I think the best way to put it is put it up against the Ravens defense. How do you think how many points are they scoring?
I think we get 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns?
I think we'd probably lose, but I'd probably say we win 31, or no, we'd lose 31-21.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I'm just salivating over the matchup between Blaziken and Marcus Peters.
Oh yeah,
Come on now. That's
Marcus
gonna be,
Peters throws his helmet
that's
in
Hollywood.
the stands. throws
It's
a
like
ref.
Space Jam now. It's just
But that's our Pokemon. That's
Well done. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
You enjoyed that?
That was very good.
Yeah.
That's very
We
good.
gotta change it up. Hey, there's a lot of Pokemon fans out there, so maybe this will
We're gonna enter this crossover where there's gonna be Pokemon fans interchanging with football fans, and
start arguing in the comments.
Yeah, we saw that this week with Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld fans all kind of coming together.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that.
So what's up with that?
A couple of
Well,
nights
they're
ago,
going to win the Super Bowl if he's dating an Avenger. Let's be
Simply.
honest. He's dating.
We got
superhero.
the Avengers on our side.
Yeah,
now.
they're going to help out, right?
You want to talk about America's team?
Right there.
It's the Buffalo Bills.
There you go. There you go. We're America. We have the colors of the flag
So Josh Allen was seen out now
in New York
twice
City.
with Haley Steinfeld, and according to reports out of People magazine, according to a friend, they said that they're having fun.
Yes, I saw that too.
That's what they're. You know what? It's nothing too crazy yet. They're
just
out
talking.
there having fun.
They're on the Snapchat.
They're on the Snapchat
every night. Just
the TikToks.
He's playing, Madden, and he's got the phone next to her, pointing at the ceiling, talking to her on Snapchat. Right? Is that how dating works nowadays?
Yeah, this is what the People magazine article says.
Well, this is exciting. I mean, this is good because he needs some stable relationship.
We're sitting here.
He's
talking
not being
about,
distracted. Get your friggin' job done.
How do you know it's the off season right now? Pokemon NFL lists and Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld dating rumors.
This is going to be an e-show. It's going to be an e-show.
I mean, all
right?
Here we go.
Off
the record. We all have significant others.
Yep.
Right.
If any of you guys are watching this doesn't mean anything. Who would you rather have, Haley Steinfeld or Brittany Williams?
I think you should move on.
I would take the A-list. I think I would take the A-list celebrity.
Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? But from what we've seen, Brittany was kind of holding it down with Josh for years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a trade-off of what you want at that point in your life.
Would you rather have the hometown? She's a very attractive girl. Hometown supermodel.
The hometown sweetheart.
Hometown sweetheart or the Avenger?
Well, when you put it like that,
then it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna take the Avenger. I'm taking Haley Steinfeld.
She plays like two superheroes.
Yeah, she's
two superheroes.
She's Hawkeye's daughter, which is now Hawkeye. Right?
She's Hawkeye.
She's Hawkeye, and she's also Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, she's got a big movie coming out.
That comes out
movie's
next
coming
week?
out next week.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the biggest. I think that's gonna be the biggest movie of the year.
I think. You know what? Actually, while we're on that topic, one of our good friends, who's a good friend of the show, Jules, and another guest of the show and friend of the show, Damien. They started up a podcast called The Virtuosos. They are reviewing all thing, and kind of similar to Next to Kin in a way, kind of catering to the same audience. Yeah. They're going over a lot. Like I know last week they were talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right. But tomorrow they're dropping, or either tomorrow or the next couple of days, they're dropping a Spider-Man episode, kind of going all about. They're watching all of the old Spider-Man movies leading up to this point.
Yeah, I think we were talking about we're going to probably do a ranking the Spider-Man movies.
I think they're doing the same thing. So give them a listen. Give Next to Kin a listen too. With all this Haley Steinfeld Spider-Man news.
Oh yeah, and Haley Steinfeld in 7, like a series.
Oh, in 7. Okay, I was like
Brittany Williams versus Haley Steinfeld. Give me Haley Steinfeld in 7.
He said Haley Steinfeld is a 7
versus Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the octagon or like
basketball?
I thought you were like she was in the movie 7.
No,
she wasn't in that movie. I saw that movie.
Like an ISO? Like are we?
Yeah, they're 1-on-1 ISO. Winner gets Josh Allen.
Like Night of Champions, like WWE style. Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, custody of Rey Mysterio's nephew, whatever it was. that wrestling match was. I forget what it was. It was like Rey Mysterio or.
Yeah,
one of those wrestlers.
There's a match every day, so it doesn't really matter. There's always a match.
So yeah, I'm going Haley Steinfeld. Do you have an opinion, Marento, or who would you rather have?
You're gonna get him in trouble.
I don't even know who the other person was.
Brittany Williams.
Who's Brittany Williams?
The girl he was dating.
Oh, I didn't know. No, I never knew her name.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Never mind then.
I mean, my only comment would be is that if I was a celebrity of sorts and I wasn't dating someone, I think I'd probably try to date another celebrity.
I feel the same.
That's my only point. Like, if he's gonna right now, after getting out of a relationship, he should not be going to Bar Bill and picking up a girl there because
he ain't going to venue,
he can walk into any place in Western New York and find someone that will date him.
Like, I promise you, he's not walking into Soho. That's not happening.
Yeah, I hope not. Or
we talked about that. We're not seeing him at venue.
Or anything on Elmwood. He should not be going to any of those places.
He's not hitting jackrabbits. He's not.
Get out of those.
Stay out of the venue.
Good bar. Please don't go to Good Bar. At least go to, if you are going to like that nice, the speakeasy place. At least that's a nice one. So-
if he's going
no,
anywhere,
but seriously though, I think that you'll see that quite often. That's going to lead to more. Just you just don't know. Like you're gonna. I think that's why these guys will end up kind of trying to find people that are kind of traveling in different circles, so to speak, just because they don't have to deal with all the she's after my money or whatever, blah 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 blah. I'm not saying that, but that is obviously a thing. And there's football wives, TV shows, and all that stuff. So, I mean, he's probably just wants to enjoy himself for a while, and don't blame him. So good for him.
So where are they gonna live? I mean, is she gonna live in Buffalo for the season, or is he gonna live in like wherever she lives, probably L.A., Hollywood?
like
for,
Kaylee's
the
just
off-season?
like chilling at like chilling in Orchard Park,
Chilling
and,
in
like,
Orchard Park.
shopping
Well,
at.
a lot of the Bills go other places in the off season. Like they don't all stay in Western New York.
Right.
They
But
certainly,
I guess his question is,
like all the hockey players go back. Most of them go back to the country.
I guess
they're
in
from.
season, like, are you gonna run into Haley Steinfeld at the McKinley Wegmans, or like what's
Good.
going on there?
They'd probably be very disguised. Like she might be.
She might just
disguised as Hawkeye.
Instacart it. At that
I
point.
feel like she's more of a Trader Joe's though. Let's be honest.
fair.
She's
Fair.
Or what's the Whole Foods?
Yeah, Whole Foods.
She's probably Whole
Hey,
Foods.
Whole Foods is a beautiful store. You ever walk in there? Have you ever walked into the one down in Amherst?
Yeah, it's nice.
Gorgeous.
I'm just not driving all the way out there to grocery shop.
See, it's only like 5-6 minutes from Molly's house, so like, I'll slip in every now and then. It's the only place
that
I can
point.
reliably get Topo Chico mineral water. Don't ask. I use it
I've
for
heard of
mixers. I drink it. It's fantastic mineral water. I think we should get a sponsorship from Topo Chico. That'd
Chico,
be
come on.
sick. But they also have seltzers and like margaritas and stuff like that. But
Do they sell it alcoholic?
they do, yeah, the margaritas.
They
and
sell that
the,
at Wegmans.
Mhm.
The hard stuff.
Yeah, but their water, I use it and I mix tequila and lime juice to make ranch water, and ranch water is fantastic.
Ranch water. I never had ranch water.
Never had ranch water? It's
Mixologist Nico
it's
Sanabini.
it's mineral water, specifically Topo Chico. You take a half ounce of lime juice and then you do an ounce and a half of tequila. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's mineral water, lime
That's
juice,
breakfast. That's breakfast. That's
tequila. As I like to
little
call
shot.
it, orange juice.
Orange juice.
and then off to work.
We got to bring back that. We got to do drink of the week. I think that's another segment. we should
Drink of
do.
the week.
Let's start bringing in just different bottles of bourbon and just
Yeah.
get a sip review.
You're more of a man of exquisite taste. On Monday for Memorial Day, I had Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue.
That's not
Like,
bad.
man.
See, okay, listen. I'll be honest. On Monday, I was sucking down Crown Royal Peach. I had Crown
Oh,
Royal
whoa.
Peach iced teas. About a couple
see,
mason jars. I got a whole bunch of iced tea, and then just.
But see,
topped it
that's
up with
like good preparation and like.
I went to Target to buy iced tea.
I don't
and
know how
lemonade.
much preparation
Well,
that
still,
is.
but, like you're putting it together.
What, were
I'm
you-
just like cracking open a
Oh, I
can
thought you
and
meant like
just,
he had to like plan out the shopping list or
Oh,
something
no.
like that.
Well,
I mean,
no.
and I'm sure he has I'm sure you have mason jars.
I do.
Everybody's
Although I
got.
did buy more because
Everybody's got a
my
box
family,
of,
like,
or a
always
closet
uses
full of
mason
mason jars. Like at our house, we have more mason jars than we could ever. I don't know when we're going to need all of these, and we're not canning, so that they're clearly for other purposes.
Yeah.
So
Moving on. What about D Hop?
Yeah. So he was
he's not
released.
dating an Avenger.
He's not
I know
dating an
that.
Avenger, but he is technically now officially released by the almost said the DeAndre Cardinals.
I mean, that's what they were.
I don't
They
even know
were-
what that
that's
meant.
kind of that, we weren't off on that.
The Arizona Cardinals, effective of yesterday, he was released. So there's been a couple teams that are so quote unquote in the running. It seems like the Bills and Chiefs are leading the race right now. Adam Schefter is predicting the Chiefs, but the Kansas City Chiefs only have about $600,000 in cap space right now. I looked
Less
that
than
up.
the Bills. Yeah,
Less
Bills
than the
have
Bills.
like 1.2 right now.
Bills are about 1.2. There's a couple other teams that they threw out there, like Cleveland. He said something about like reuniting with Deshaun
Well,
Watson.
what would be the point of him going to one of those teams? I mean, he left because he wants to try to get a championship. He's been very honest about this,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So he's not going to those teams.
I mean, he gave a list of
Yeah.
like wants or wishes that he'd have in his new potential team.
So he's got it, realistically, there's really only about 5 or 6 teams I think he'd even consider.
yeah, I agree.
He's not going to Cleveland. He's not going to Pittsburgh. He's not going to he's not even going to somebody that's going to come in. He wants someone who's going to win a division that's going to get him a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Although I could see him, kind of to your point, and the Bills and the Chiefs are the obvious threats, but I like the Ravens as a dark horse too.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens, they already went and grabbed Odell Beckham.
That's
already
a reasonable one.
They
Yeah.
drafted Zay Flowers, but to get DeAndre Hopkins on a 2-year deal or even a 3-year deal or some way that they can get out after the first couple of years.
He's trying to win something now, so he's not it's got to be. It could be the Ravens. I mean,
I'm looking at Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. That's my top
I think that's the only three. Like somebody said the Jets, but I'm like, I don't see that.
There's just too many people in that wide receiver room now with the Jets.
I think there's too many people in the Ravens wide receiver room.
Yeah,
I have a team for you guys. The Philadelphia Eagles.
that's a sleeper team too.
Yeah.
Imagine DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith as a trio. I mean, that's easily the number one.
Because right now,
And I can see that too because let's be honest, the NFC is.
Oh, it's the Eagles.
It's
It goes
weak.
through the Eagles.
So he could theoretically ride his way right back to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, if I was in that position, the only thing I'll say in his situation is that does he need a team or does a team need him? That's kind of my argument with him right now. Because he's also kind of painted himself into a corner a little bit that I'm only going to go here. And once you say that, then it's going to be harder for him, I think, at least in my opinion, to go into that room and say, I want this. And they're going to you're the one who came to us. We'll give you this.
I think he is one of those talents that kind of transcends that, though. I think he has done his time in the league. I mean, he's at that third contract kind of level where he's entering his 30s, but he hasn't shown signs of slowing down. He is, I mean, at one point in time was the number one paid wide receiver in the league. Is after his 6-week suspension, I mean, he ended up, I think, over with 1,000 yards still, only in, I think, 10 games that he ended up playing. He still has enough in the tank to get a team over the hedge. And you know what? I think he ends up ultimately signing with a team that is just that one piece away, one receiver away. And, I think it was Adam Schefter that put it best in this process where he's going to end up to a team that, because of him, are going to win like that crucial catch or that one touchdown needed to kind of put the team over the edge, win the division, this or that. Like, he's going to sign to a team that he can just be that cherry on top.
Yeah. With the Eagles, I mean, wide receiver 1, A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith has been acting as wide receiver number 2. But the wide receiver number 3 right now, I looked, and it's a split between Olamide Zacchaeus and Quez Watkins. And so, I mean, those are two guys who I think are good coming off the bench type of guys. But you sign D-Hop there. They have around $13 million in cap space right now. You sign D-Hop, and you'll be pressed with the cap after the signing, but it's D-Hop.
You know what? You still have $12 million available too, so you can afford to front load a good bit of it too.
So I would probably say have AJ and D-Hop on the outside, Devontae Smith in the slot, and it's just
so
dangerous.
I guess my question is, what is his nickname going to be? If AJ Brown is Swole Batman and Devontae Smith is Skinny Batman, what kind of Batman is DeAndre Hopkins?
That's a tough one. I mean, what is DeAndre Hopkins? He's skinny, but he's also tall.
And he's also strong.
He's strong. He's not swole as AJ Brown.
Is he just like...
He's just kind of there.
He's contested catch Batman.
Contested catch Batman. No, I'd probably say clutch Batman.
Clutch Batman.
Maybe
coin it right now. Clutch Batman.
Clutch Batman, or cause he is clutch.
Yeah, Hail Murray.
Hail Murray. Out of there you go. I'd probably say that, or the one-handed Batman. I don't know. I like clutch.
That
Batman
sounds almost
better.
like a negative connotation. He only has one hand.
One hand. Clutch Batman.
Clutch Batman. I think that's coin it right now.
Probably the best right now.
Trademark it.
Trademark it.
You ever when you're live on the show, you're like, you know what, that's gonna make a really damn good reel.
That's gonna make a really good damn.
After you say it, you're like, you know what, that's gonna be a good reel.
Clutch Batman.
That's gonna be a real good reel.
Yeah. Take it to the bank.
Take that one to the bank. Yeah.
Other headlines we have: Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders. A little bit of a problem there. He hasn't passed a physical yet. Since being a Raider. and he had surgery.
Are there any more details? Because the one thing I saw was that it just said that it was like previous or ongoing medical. Did they?
So it's his foot.
So they didn't. Did they come out and say that, or are they still saying that it's his? Or do you just imply that because that's what the surgery was all about?
So it became a headline a couple days ago, and so what happened is there's a clause in his contract. So basically, Raiders are protected financially from Jimmy Garoppolo because what happens is you don't pass a physical, you're not going to be on the team. Especially if this keeps going on through training camp. Training camp is valuable because he's a new quarterback to the team. Not so much to Josh McDaniels, but to his Raiders teammates. And so there's a chance that he's not going to be on the team. So there's a clause that somebody brought it up, and it just kind of spread like wildfire. He could not be a Raider. Like he could sign with the Raiders and end up not playing a single down for him. Yeah. So that's the kind of crazy thing. And so the Raiders they protected themselves financially, but who's going to be their quarterback? Tom Brady going to come from the booth and be a half owner, half player. You got who are their backups? I mean, I think they have is Stidham still there? I don't know if Stidham is still there.
It's
or Hoyer.
Hoyer's there, and they drafted the quarterback out of Purdue, Aiden O'Connor, I think his name is.
Aiden O'Connor. So, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of interesting. That's something to watch. We can't really say right now, but if he's not going to be the quarterback of the Raiders, then that team is going to be – I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo is a big factor, but, you don't have a starting quarterback of his caliber, anything close to that, then they're going to be in trouble.
Yep.
If Brian Hoyer's your quarterback for the season, then you might as well just – tank for Drake May or Caleb Williams at that point. I'm not going to obviously they're not going to come out and say it, but, take for Tua type.
I mean, it's interesting because, they were tied to Will Levis so much in the draft process.
Yeah.
And they had multiple – I mean, they had 34 opportunities to grab him.
They did. Yeah, they did. So, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. And the foot is kind of just one of those things where – I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to get too much into it, but if he doesn't pan out being the Raiders quarterback, then they're definitely going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to be anything this year, but they definitely would be in the
be much deeper doo-doo than they were.
They would be in some doo-doo. Other headlines. Did want to talk about this real quick. It's not really a headline, but I saw it on Twitter. I thought it was very interesting. To any of our Bills fans watching. So the Bills have a linebackers coach named Bobby Babich. I don't know if anybody knows who he is, but he's our linebackers coach. And he came out on a press conference, today or the last 2 days, basically, just talking about an OTAs. The OTAs are happening right now. And they're talking about the, ideal linebacker fit. And he had some things to say regarding a proper linebacker build in their defense. So I want you guys to watch this clip. Nico's going to pull it up right now and see if it is potentially, subliminally coming at somebody. So that was the clip that we showed you guys. That's Bobby Babbitt, Bills linebackers coach. I think personally, and a lot of people are sharing it and reposting it and saying this is about Tremaine Edmonds, Bills' former linebacker, now Chicago Bears starting linebacker potentially. What are your thoughts, Nico? Do you think that was subliminally?
Oh, that was going right at Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
Where you got a guy that might not play to their size per se. I mean, come on. Like
Edmonds was known for his size, being here in Buffalo.
And you know what? Sometimes you wanted him to kind of be more for that size. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, I think it was definitely a call out for sure.
Yeah, and so and the Bills let him walk. Maybe that was an indication. Like that clip. I'm not saying that clip, but a little bit of an indication that that was a big reason why he's not a Buffalo Bill no more, and that he is now a Chicago Bear. Not coming at the Bears. Maybe he goes to the Bears and he blossoms more.
Right.
But he's just. As a player, a starting linebacker as the Buffalo Bills, he's gotten a lot of hate, and he's also had some bright spots.
Yeah,
very up and down career.
He's a young player too. I mean, he's 24.
He's 24.
After having 5 years in the league, he's 24 years old. I mean, part of that's he's still growing. I mean, Dalton Kincaid, who was just drafted in the first round by the Bills, is 23 years old. Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds only has like 6 or 7 months on him.
Right.
So he's still a young player and still learning, and it's. I don't know if the Bills would have been able to stomach $18 million a year for him.
No.
But he, like he said, he might be able to blossom with the Bears under the right coaching and the right continuity for him.
That being said, though, so since we're talking about Tremaine Edmonds and inside linebackers, I want to break down for our top 5 discussion. Who are the top 5 best interior or inside? I'm gonna say inside linebackers in the NFL. So middle linebackers. You're Mike.
That's tough. That's a tough list.
It's a tough list. Your off the ball lineups. What are you thinking here? Because if you say linebackers in general, then that's including outside linebackers in a 4-3 or 3-4 pass rushers as an outside linebacker. So this is like your 4-3 Mike linebacker, single Mike linebacker, or the off the ball inside linebackers in a 3-4. So
is it a hot take to say that I still think Bobby Wagner is, if not number one of the best middle linebackers in the league?
It's definitely not a hot take. For me, I'll say this right now. He's outside of my top 5, but he's number 6.
Yeah.
So he's honorable mention for me. But would you like to go first, or would you want me to go first?
I mean, yeah, I can lead off. It's tough because a lot of times in the NFL that what we're seeing are kind of like positionless linebackers. So like players that are playing both off ball and in the middle too. It's so kind of putting this list together. I'm like finding names where I'm like, is he really considered a middle linebacker?
Right.
So I don't know if I have I don't know defense as well as I should probably, so I don't want to sound like like misinformed. So I'm not gonna do a numbered list.
Okay.
I'll just do I think my top 5 in the game. So in no particular order, I have Bobby Wagner up there still, and I'll be honest, I do have Tremaine Edmonds. I think if I were to rank him, he would probably be more at that 5, kind of lower down. I have Matt Milano up there too. And then for me, it kind of gets like, I don't know, because I have guys like Logan Wilson, who's also really good. Or is Drake? I mean, like Drake Greenlaw is another example for me. So I don't know. That would probably be my 5, but I'm really interested in hearing what you think.
All right, so here's my top 5. Honorable mentions, Bobby Wagner, just listed him. My other honorable mention, I feel like, coming into this episode, I've seen Levante David.
He was someone else who was on my, Yeah,
everybody's top 5. But Levante David, for me, is honorable mention. I think he is like 6 or 7 nowadays.
You have 5 interior linebackers better than... Okay, okay.
So, I mean, and that's the thing is like... Are these considered interior linebackers? I just think these are guys who are just off the ball. These aren't pass rushers. So they're playing middle of the field inside.
Yep.
They're not your typical Mike, but they might be as you said, 3-4 inside linebacker. That still counts as off ball. So I have Demario Davis, New Orleans Saints. He's kind of flip-flop between Mike and like a Sam or a Will. But he's the captain of that defense. He's team captain. Demario Davis, for him, it was in the beginning of his career, he was, a solid linebacker, but he didn't really start like blossoming until the last like 5 years with the New Orleans Saints. And it's like the first half of his career was kind of like, he's solid, but he's not that great. But he started getting into the top 5 later in his career, like almost damn near in his 30s. So it's kind of like kind of a weird situation. You don't really see that. You see usually like, your better years are like in your 20s.
Your age 25 to 28 seasons.
Yeah, in your prime. But his prime kind of hit late. So it's kind of like, it's cool to see. But for him, he's been the anchor of that New Orleans Saints defense for sure when it comes to linebackers for sure. So Demario Davis is number 5 for me. Number 4, I have Matt Milano. So Matt Milano, 5th round pick out of Boston College. I love the pick when we got him. They were like, he could play linebacker. He could even play like safety too. At the time, he was more of when he got drafted, he was skinnier. Wasn't as built.
He played
as
safety
he is
too,
now.
so
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he was like
smaller.
He was kind of like your Isaiah Simmons, like a smaller Isaiah Simmons.
Yep.
But then, as the years came by, he's just, you ever see Matt Milano's, like, I'm trying not to, like, gush over this dude, but, like.
Oh, I've seen him.
His biceps.
Every time I met him?
Yeah, you told me
I met him at Bar Bill.
Yeah. His biceps are, like, as big as my head. Like, he has the bicep, like. I'm surprised this dude hasn't been suspended for like PEDs at this point. Like,
randomly drug tested.
Even though he probably does get drug tested, but the amount of times NFL players get drug tested, I mean, he probably should have been caught by now.
If he was.
But this dude is just massive. Like, he's not like massive height-wise, but like them biceps, those arms, man, are they're beautiful arms. I'm gushing over this dude right now. I'm trying not to. Isabel, if you're watching this, like, I'm sorry, but Matt Milano is this dude got some. Are you pulling up a picture of him right now?
I'm trying to find. I posted a picture of him. Where am I? No, that's Highmark. Here, let me go on Facebook.
I'll just
keep talking about his body.
So I'll talk about his body. All right. Yeah, I seen him shirtless before. Oh man, no. But Matt Milano, he's really taken over. So the Bills run a 4-2-5, as many of you guys know, with him and Tremaine Edmonds. I often thought that he was the better one of him and Edmonds, and I think so too. His reading ability is amazing. Like, he could read. Oh, do you have it?
Like, I need you to see his just his forearm. Now, I mean, Alyssa's with their.
Alyssa's small though.
Alyssa's tiny, so like that doesn't count. But that's the size of her head. That's a big man.
That's a meaty forearm, man. That's a meaty forearm.
That's an insane forearm. Yeah. So like you said, he got big. He was undersized and he got big.
He put on some muscle, and so he literally can do everything on the football field. He could rush the passer. He could snuff out a running back in the hole as best as anybody can do it. And he's number 4 on my list because I just think there's another 3 people that are better than him.
Yeah.
But he's still a top 5 linebacker to me. And plus now Tremaine Edmonds is gone. They haven't named him as the starting middle linebacker on the team, but I bet you he gets that captain's patch this year, and he's going to be the center of the defense for sure now.
I completely agree with that.
Because there's also probably going to be a young guy like Dorian Williams or a Balin Spector or a Tyrell Dotson next to him. So he's going to have to,
someone's going to need to step up.
So give me Matt Milano at 4. Number 3, give me Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith is a guy.
That's another guy I didn't even think of. Yeah, Roquan Smith is up there for me.
Roquan Smith is a guy who was drafted by the Bears, first-round pick, out of college. Great prospect. He's fast. He's strong. He's not. I probably wouldn't say he's as strong as Matt Milano, but he's more. I'd probably say he's a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can hit. You could brush him off the edge. he went from the Bears, and when he got traded to Baltimore, I was like, he was the main Mike linebacker when he got drafted, and that Bears defense was solid with him.
I think he was the number 9 overall pick in his draft class?
He was a top 15 pick, yeah. And so then when he got traded to Baltimore, I'm like, they don't even need. Well, Baltimore didn't even need him, but you put a guy like Patrick Queen's with him, but Roquan Smith there, man, that defense is solid. So Roquan Smith should have, this is his first full season as a Raven coming up, pretty sure. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what he could do. But he is, he is also great in pass coverage as well. And that's another thing with that Baltimore defense is they really harp on, playing that Tampa 2 like pass coverage defense. So, and they're a 3-4. So give me Roquan Smith at 3. Number 2, give me Shaquille Leonard, formerly known as Darius Leonard. When healthy, I think he can be the best linebacker in the NFL. But he had a little bit of health problem, especially like last year. Indianapolis was a mess.
But you know what? My guy, Zaire Franklin, played admirably in his place.
He did. So Zaire Franklin was a good plug-in. But Shaq Leonard, he's been, again, another one of those guys that, he could do anything on the football field. He's a great leader. I think he was a little bit better as Darius Leonard.
Yeah.
Than it is as Shaquille Leonard, but still.
Let's compare Darius's and Shaquille's stats side by side.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it's because, but hey, I don't know. They correlate.
Yeah, and he wasn't even a first-round pick. I think it was like a third.
I think so.
I think it was a day 2 or 3 pick, and they knew Indianapolis knew off the bat that this kid was going to be great, and so Darius Leonard has just been a top talent as a linebacker, inside linebacker. The number 1, give me Fred Warner. Fred Warner to me has been the.
See, I left him out only because I'm like, he's more of like an outside linebacker. I don't know. It's that weird positionless linebacker. But
yeah,
keep going.
That's the thing is that's why the list is inside and middle, but he's off the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
So Fred Warner, give me him at number 1, undisputed at this point. I think it was like a battle between like him and Bobby Wagner in the last couple years, but. Fred Warner has just always been consistent. He's what I think he is. If he's not it, he's one of the pieces that make that 49er defense great. His pass coverage skills are just out of this world. A guy like as big as a guy, he is big, he is strong, and he can move. He can drop back into his hook zone. Especially in I'm not trying to compare this to Madden, but like him and Madden is like unfair because he drops back in coverage. And this dude will pick you off. He's over by the safeties. He's receivers running a post over the middle. He's like, nope, I could do that. I could snag this ball out of the air. So Fred Warner, plus he's wearing number 54. 54 was my number in high school.
Yes, sir.
So a little tidbit, pass it on to the GOAT.
Did they retire it?
At Niagara Falls?
Yeah, when you graduated.
They should have.
I don't think we retire numbers, do we?
No.
They have to use the same jerseys every year, I think. So.
I think the only person that has a retired number is maybe James Starks.
I don't think they even do.
I don't even think they did.
I don't think they've ever retired a number.
Yeah.
So. Should have retired 17 in honor of me. Didn't play a snap. Didn't even go on a team.
I was going to say, what is there a sport that I missed?
Like honored.
You didn't do tennis or something one year?
I did tennis.
I was gonna say he did. Yeah, you're definitely one of those guys who just goes out for tennis one year.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
I am one. I literally was one of those.
1 year, right?
There's
every year. 30 years of teaching, there's always that guy that goes out for like one sport one time.
Yeah, just
and it's like it's tennis.
I
can play tennis. How bad could I be?
I was a scholar athlete.
Yeah.
What they're doing now is with football, Niagara Falls High School football, is they're stealing the soccer kids to play kicker.
It's smart. I think they're 30 years behind.
All right, I got to make a comment about this. I'm sorry, Josh McCoy, but the year that they took Josh McCoy to do it,
pretty sure I was there.
Yes, that was. It might have been the year after you graduated.
Oh,
might have been 18. Might have been fall of that year.
Oh yeah, it was 2018. Yeah.
No offense, Josh, and I think he would agree with this. He was the worst kicker on the soccer team, and he left soccer to go kick. I'm like, there were like nine
This
other
kid plays
guys.
soccer.
There were
Come on
9
in.
other guys that could actually take a free kick that would have been better choices. Josh was not the right. I don't think he actually even kicked. I think he kicked
No.
one and he missed.
There's
So-
backup kickers on high
So
school.
we
He
lost
was
a
basically a backup.
quality defender to the kicking squad. Sorry about that.
They took not last year but the year before Alex Antonacci.
Oh, I know Alex.
Yeah, and so Alex
He's
Alex
friends
did
with
all
my
right.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex
so
did all right.
Alex
Yeah.
he was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he
was
did all
good.
right.
Yeah, he
'cause
was actually pretty
because
good.
he had a good soccer player too.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best kickers we've had in recent memory for the
Yeah.
football team. I mean, like when
I
I
never
played,
knew he played football.
So basically what he would do is like I forget what the times are for the practices, but I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
would go to football and then go to he would do like a split practice.
Yeah, with dual sporting, what you do is you can do it however you want, but they have to make an appearance at both practices.
You have to have a certain number of practices.
So
I'm pretty
normally,
sure.
like in soccer, tends to play during the week. So like on a game day, he wouldn't have to go to football. So then usually after a game, we usually give the kids off. So that'd be a
He's
good
kicker.
day to
I
go
mean,
to
he's not really in
practice.
the huge.
And
game
like
plans.
football
He's
tended to
just on
not have
special
really a
teams.
practice on a Monday, and that's usually when soccer would practice. So it's usually like soccer and football weren't that bad. And even like the way they schedule sports, most of them are on different days anyway. So if you do a sport in high school, there's a lot of good ways that you can. Most of the coaches are usually pretty good. I did it with a bunch of athletes, track, soccer, did it.
Yeah. But yeah, those are top 5 linebackers, inside linebackers, off the ball linebackers, whatever you want to call it. And basically, if you're not a pass rusher, then like you're labeled as a pass rusher. That's why Micah Parsons, in recent memory, he was like both.
Right.
But coming into the
he
season,
would have been number 1 clearly, but now he's
an edge rusher now.
yeah, he's officially labeled an edge rusher.
So that's why you got left off this list. But if you guys have any questions, about that, let us know. Any good linebacker experts, give us a
Few and
hand.
far between.
Yeah. But I think that's all we have today.
I just want to interject with one thing.
What?
45 minutes ago, DeAndre Hopkins posted a day in Toronto.
Toronto.
He spent the day in Toronto,
He's joining the Argos.
and imagine. Let's do that. Highest paid CFL player of all time combined. He posted a quick little tidbit on his story, and in it he says, "Yeah, I know. I like the cold now."
And he was buying a blue jacket.
He is. He
'Cause
was.
what was the story? I was forgetting.
Here, why don't I can pull it up.
Yeah, I saw the store.
Uh-oh.
I saw the store that he was. I was looking at it while you guys were
Uh-oh.
like,
All right. How do I?
"That's a blue jacket," and it's what I can't think of. I can never pronounce that place.
There he is.
Okay, there you go.
What is that video? Like, where is?
He's
That-
been doing like fun little videos lately.
Yeah, good for him.
That has to be some kind of subliminal video.
He wants to be a
Game day fit.
TikTok influencer.
Game day fit. I mean, it's blue and red.
Blue and red.
Bills or Chiefs? Bills or Chiefs?
He's having a good time messing with people. That's
Although
for sure.
he has an Astros hat on.
Houston, going back to Houston Texans.
Imagine.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
Maybe,
Other
it's,
than that-
maybe it's just a nice hat.
It is a cool. It's a slick
They're
looking
cheaters.
hat.
Yeah.
Patriots
He's a
confirmed.
cheater. He's going, or the Giants because they're blue as well. So
But the Patriots blue and red ish, navy and red. But
there's a lot of
cheaters?
blue.
Come
There's
on.
a lot of blue and red teams. They're
But yeah, that's all we have for episode 47 of the Big Yak Podcast. We're going to be doing a giveaway of last episode. We had the sports cards, the football cards. We're going to be doing a giveaway of that. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week for episode 48. The 1 year's coming up
Coming up quick.
very quickly. So episode 48 will be next week. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't
See
know.
you when we see you.
See you when you see you. Yeah, sorry about that.